Everyone! Everyone! Welcome to another episode of Absolutely! My name is Benny. I run the channel Comic Storian. That is Sal from Comic Pop. That is Hassan from Hassan Kader. And today's episode is brought to you by Hatchet Jalapeno Hot Sauce, created by us, the team here. Make sure you go to the website down below and support. Oh, I just knocked over stuff. Uh-oh. Anyway, that's the intro. Hey, how you guys doing today?
It's good. What up? It's good. I've had some Hatchet Jalapeno recently. Houston sent me some. It's really good, dude. It's really like a fresh flavor on. Like, I don't really expect that from hot sauce. It's very, very fresh. Yeah. I like it a lot.
I had to buy it.
Yeah. No, you had to buy it.
I had to buy it. None of my friends had sent it to me.
You should yell at Hassan, because not Hassan. Yeah, yell at Hassan. He's
okay. This is a storage rack, but you can see there's about 12 bottles of Hatchet Jalapeno.
That's what I mean. Like, we didn't send you any?
He sent it to me after I bought it.
I'm yelling at Huey for you.
Hey, at least we got some extra. You guys should buy some too if you're watching, because actually we enjoy it. I'm really excited for the.
It's at thishotsauceiss.com.
When's the spice drop, Ben? When's this?
We got to sell the first product. You'll love this one. It'll go into this video. We're gonna talk about the Batman Beyond thing in a minute. But YouTube, the reason we made this product is YouTube is like, we're coming out with a way for you to sell your product on YouTube. We're like, let's make a product. Let's make a hot sauce. Whole thing came out because there was gonna be a way to sell it to YouTube. YouTube hit me up. Yeah, that didn't work. Nobody clicks that. So we're gonna try something new. Like, great. So I got 40,000 bottles of a hot sauce that I need to find another way to sell.
Well, this video is brought to you by it. So guys, go get some hot sauce. If for nothing to support us, but you're gonna love it. It's Houston made it. Huey's one of the best people on the team, and he's a gosh darn chef.
Yeah.
Speaking of chefs, there's some artists in the kitchen over at DC giving us this beautiful concept art for a Batman Beyond animated movie.
Yes. No, hold on. Here's the story.
Please.
The guys who made Spider-Verse, the first one, pitched originally a Batman Beyond movie to DC in the exact same animation style, apparently.
Yeah.
And what has leaked is the concept art that they used in the pitch.
Right. Right.
And apparently DC said, we're not interested in Batman Beyond. They were slightly interested afterwards, but they still shot down the idea of a Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah, they shot it down like out of hand. They were like, we're not doing it. Like, just before you even get started, it's never going to happen.
Right. That's the story's being told right now.
Right. And then they did the pitch and they said, well, we went from a hard no to a maybe. Obviously, it didn't happen, and they made Spider-Man instead, which is, we're all the better for it. But we didn't get that Batman Beyond movie, and it just proves once again that Warner Brothers is run by idiots who don't know what people want.
Yeah. I mean, we've already proven that with the Tomorrowverse barely being known by anybody.
Bro, those movies suck.
They're not great.
I don't mean to be rude about that. The ones I have watched, I'm like baffled by how unwatchable and ugly these movies look coming from a studio.
Some of them, but they are ugly. The new decision for animation was like,
it's a bad animation decision.
Yeah.
Jensen Ackles is Batman, which got me so excited because he got to be Red Hood back in the day. He's always wanted to play Batman. We finally get to see him as Batman. Oh my God, what a one-note performance. Probably because of one-note directing. He probably wanted to give it more voice and intrigue, but he couldn't. So that DC animation used to be kind of the thing, right? Like Marvel was like, Marvel was trying to look to DC animation of how to build their connected universe when they're building their cinematic universe.
Right.
And now we don't do that anymore. Now we have trash. We have dog trash. Nothing. Nonsense. It's horrible.
I mean, DC animated movies have not been the top dog now for like 5, 6, 7 years. Like,
Man,
it's been a while since one of those was coming out, and we were like, holy shit, we all need to go watch this DC animated movie.
And right. Can you imagine the way, like, the wave that would have come from Warner Brothers having greenlit/released a Batman Beyond movie in the style of Spider-Verse? Like, how people have been like, oh, Warner Brothers is back. Like, all it takes is one big hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to shit on Sony, but everyone's like, oh, but look, across the Spider-Verse, they know what they're doing now. We're just ignoring Morbius and Madam
and everything else.
Well, it's a very different department of Sony that made that film, to be fair. But there has been attempts of the department of Sony, the studio intervention side that ruins live action to ruin this, but it's been a firm thing of like, we make the money, you close your mouth. Avi Arad. I hate that, man. But whatever.
Yeah, can't wait for Borderlands, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's gonna be a horrible movie. But yeah, it's really mind-boggling that we live in a time period where people keep trying to make live action remakes of different projects when animation, both 3D, 2D, and then anime are definitely the more marketable aspects. Like, we just had a Percy Jackson TV show that was okay. It really was supposed to, like, it's by the main author, the original author, so you think it's really going to pull from the books, but they change a lot for the sake of changing it. They exposit like crazy.
Yeah.
There are things about it to really like, but there are things about it to not like at all. And that as an anime would have slapped. That book to animation, even in animation, would have done amazing in movies. But it feels like studios are scared to make that kind of product. Now we have the Avatar: The Last Airbender show, live action, very lackluster reviews on that. And Batman Beyond, I think that would be a horrible live action movie right now.
Yeah.
To be frank, I think that Batman Beyond only works later as a, what do you call it? As a sequel, future potential future movie that we can find our, what was it? Tomorrow's Journeys. There was like Tomorrow's End or something. I can't remember the comic series where Tim Drake is in the future with Terry McGinnis.
Future's End.
There we go. From years ago where we bring it back. But there's so much we could do stuff. We could do stuff eventually. But as an animated thing, did you like, we'll put the images on screen for you guys to see. They're stunning.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond looks so good realized in this art style.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they don't realize, but we got to cross the Spider-Verse. It's almost like shouting in their face. Like, you can't just make a lackluster piece of animated material these days.
Yes.
Like the Tomorrowverse, for example, they don't look great. They don't, the acting's on point, but they don't look that good, which immediately turns you off of the series. And then you get some crazy stories like going back in time to World War II and stuff like that. And it's all supposed to tie together in Crisis, but you don't tell anyone this.
No.
And then you're comparing it to like the action sequences in Demon Slayer. You're comparing it to the visual presentation of Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're getting. This is top tier animation. We will watch this. But the Batman Beyond stuff they showed, imagine, I don't even remember the guy's name, but that goopy guy that was chasing Terry. Ink doing all the crazy stuff with that animation and doing like the cyberpunk kind of stuff that you just can't do well in live action.
No, or it would be in live action in name only. Like, it would all be CG. It would all be animation anyway, surrounding by one confused live action actor. Like, it would not work.
Well, it's like when they did Lion King. Like, he did
like,
Lion King live action. Guys, it's all CG. What are you talking about?
There's no one physically there. They're all animals. There's no human in the thing, and they're all fake. Like, and
the animals are not talking. What are you talking about?
You know that, like, they're thinking, like, they're like, we don't want to make a Batman Beyond animated movie because if it's successful, then we can't make a Batman Beyond live action movie starring Michael Keaton or or some other actor who would play old Batman. And it's like, stop thinking like that. Like, they canceled the Superman TV show because they were like, well, we don't want competing Superman.
Why is that so dumb? Tyler
that.
Hoechlin has been so good as Superman.
I don't know, but I don't understand. I thought we were past that.
Right, we were done with that.
We literally
that we can have
Embargo.
Huh?
No, and that's like, I think that's going to be a thing that I think people should press James Gunn. If I have an interview with James Gunn, rather than talking about his project, I think I'm going to shoot myself in the foot and be like, hey, James, you should not do the embargo again. You guys did that before, and we really, as fans, hated it. Yeah. People are smart enough to say, that's an actor on a TV show. That's a movie actor.
Yeah.
You can keep the story running. It doesn't mean you have to run relentlessly. But Superman and Lois had easily 3 more seasons in the tank to wrap up the story it was telling, to let the boys become men and become their own heroes themselves.
Yeah.
There was a lot left to do.
There's no data to back up the embargo works. Like, it's never been a problem because it's never actually there has never been a situation where Warner Brothers or Disney or whoever has had competing versions of a character running around and it somehow cannibalized sales.
Yeah.
They don't have any data to back up this weird notion they have. But that all to say, like, I'm just saying, like, the Batman Beyond movie, I think they're not doing it because they're like, well, no. Because one day we might make a live action one and we don't want people to be confused. And it's like, every decision that is made essentially from like these studios is made from a vantage point of, well, the clientele that I want the money from is stupid. We can all agree on that, right? And
they're all such idiots. They're all such morons. How could they ever know what to do?
Never mind the fact that we have like illiterate like producers and like actors who don't know what studio they're working for. But we're the stupid ones because there's 2 Supermen, or because you're gonna make a cartoon Batman Beyond, even though there was one, and that's the thing everyone loves.
Right. That's what we want.
Well, and you're in this pocket of time where the people who grew up with it are adults. Right? Like, the younger kids who grew up with it are adults. The older people who grew up with it are real deep pocket adults. We'll spend money right now. Right. Yeah. But if you're going to give us this in 10, 20 years, we're not going to do that. It's a different conversation. This is dumb. Yeah. It's, man, I feel like there used to be such nuance in like the comic book media discussion because it was like about excitement, about potential, and now we've gotten to the point where it's all about jaded studio space.
Yes.
These studio executives make such poor decisions, and it feels like as viewers we could do it better. And I don't ever want to feel that. I don't ever want to feel like a guy who's making $3, $4, $20 million a year is doing something that I can do better, because frankly, that makes me feel like I need more money and I'm angry about it. It makes a different anger in my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, right now at this point, it's gotten to the point where I actually enjoy seeing the logo for Blumhouse and A24 over anything else, because I'm like, that they just let a movie get made.
Yeah.
Like you can shit all over the Blumhouse horror flicks, but they're sound. They're good.
Right.
Like they consistently work.
I think the reason is because it all comes from like a Hollywood hates superheroes and comic books.
It does. Yeah.
Like they hate them. And part of the reason why it's successful now is because Kevin Feige didn't, and Marvel Studios was made from the ashes of a comic book company.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because Marvel went bankrupt and they had to parlay it, and they built a studio from the ground up. Like, Marvel Studios is from the vantage point of like, these things we own and make stories of are good and could be movies. But like everyone else from the studio level thinks they're kid stuff, or at least like either kid stuff at best or garbage at worst. And so every decision that's made about it is made from a financial decision. It's never like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do like a Phantom movie or the Shadow movie? None of those, like all the movies from the 90s, like Tank Girl, Shadow, Phantom, etc., like The Mask, they're all from the same position of what can we get for cheap that can ape off of the success of that movie from 1989 called Batman. Like literally none of them
came from
good.
The sequel was
I love The Mask.
Mask is a classic. Love The Mask.
Right. But that's because
Son of
it's
the
not
Mask,
a superhero.
not so much.
The Mask,
Son of the Mask is a real bad movie, dude.
The Son of the Mask doesn't look anything to me. I've never seen that movie. I would never. But like, also The Mask is like barely a superhero movie. Like that was more like a special effects extravaganza and a Jim Carrey vehicle. But by and large, Hollywood has never really changed their tune about like, we hate these things. We don't really care about them, but we know that they sometimes make money. So we know we have to give like the barest minimum effort that we can do. It's why it's like, look at Sony and how like their output. Clearly they're not there to make stories because they don't care about them. And Warner Brothers is like, we own this crap. I mean, like, look at the Space Jam 2 movie and how they put a Clockwork Orange characters watching the basketball game. Those are sexual assaulters. Those, I'm trying to say a different word because I know the algorithm now listens to these words and they're like, no, you can't say the R word. And I'm like, then what word should I use that won't mean that word in a week? You understand?
It's the first movie that as a kid I watched and it scarred me.
Damn right. It's that kind of movie. But like, they don't care. They're just like, what IPs do we own? And then put them in front of people that get money out of it. Like, there's no desire for stories. So like with Batman Beyond, they're like, stop talking to me about your love of this universe, this character, this medium. Like, because the fact is, the only reason why we would ever make a Batman Beyond movie is if like Marvel made a Spider-Man 2099 movie. Yeah. And we needed to like rip it off in some way.
That's just such a weak mentality. And it's like, what does Hollywood really want? And I think it's a greater conversation that maybe is in this video, but like, I don't understand the goal anymore. Like, money was the goal. Okay, but now they won't let you do the things that leads to money. Right. So now is it Oscar bait? Do we want to make Oscar bait movies? Because we had a Marvel movie win an Oscar, right? We had Black Panther before.
Yeah.
We could do more of that if that's what you guys want. But it truly seems like they don't know what they want. So we studios and producers and writers and editors, like, they can't give it to them. So it's just this like permanent echo chamber of like, we'll never get what we love. We'll never get what we love anymore. The fun of the MCU, because it was like the maximum height of Hollywood allowing it to happen, was pre-pandemic. And then since then, they've been like, all right, no, we can't give you what you love. And that's a super depressing, sobering point. But this art was pretty beautiful, I will say. I didn't expect to see a Batman Beyond art piece made in this time period with that kind of animation. I never even like dreamed of that, but I've been really in love with the new animation style ushered in by Spider-Verse. We had Puss in Boots, Something Wish, Last Wish. That looked gorgeous. And then the Ninja Turtle movie also looked incredible. They're actually doing a 2D sequel to the Ninja Turtle movie that's just like an animated thing for Paramount. But because the 3D looked the way it did, it was really easy to translate those characters to 2D, which I think is like the coolest thing ever. So Batman Beyond in that style, super cool. Big fan.
Totally agreed. Missed opportunity.
Last question before we end this video. Do you think that this is going to make them potentially revisit it like Deadpool got revisited?
I think they tried to. I think that's why it got leaked.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think that's exactly that's why they leaked it. 100%.
They're trying to get it. They're trying to get like, all right, well, Spider-Verse we're already banked in. We've already got our money. What about this Batman Beyond?
Oh yeah, no, like especially because I mean they were treated like crap. Like that's like the studio that's like the animation group that's making the Spider-Verse movies. You know, like they're they're in like horrible conditions and they're under the gun. I can understand them going like, we're done making.
Oh yeah. We're gonna make the third one in the contract, and then we're gonna try again with WB. Like,
yes. Why wouldn't they? I would.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been absolutely talking about. I don't know where the accent even came from. This has been absolutely talking about Batman.
Absolutely.
So I am absolutely tired. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time right here.